Say welcome back to Meech Speaks.
Welcome back to Meech Speaks.
No, Meech Speaks.
Welcome back to Meech Speaks.
Welcome back to Meech Speaks.
Welcome back to Meech Speaks. Welcome back to Meech Speaks.
I want to say something. A prize, motherfucker.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Meech Speaks, the number one podcast in self-improvement. I'm your host, Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks. Now, before we get started with this episode, do me a favor and like, subscribe, and lastly, leave a review on your favorite streaming platform. That's either Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we are. So before we get started with this episode, the one thing that I really want to do is just speak an affirmation into it. And the affirmation that I really want to speak into this episode is just create. You feel me? And that could translate into just do it, just cook it, just move, just create. You feel me? And I say that because of the simple fact that when I came into the office and I sat down and I got ready to record, I noticed that my lighting was off. And the moment that I noticed my lighting was off, it just felt like as if everything just started to fall apart around me. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like my outfit wasn't good enough. I felt like, you know what I mean? Like the light was glaring off my forehead. I felt like my phone kept going off. I felt like I just couldn't get an idea. And I wanted to share that with everyone, because how many times have we overthought something to the point where we find ourselves stuck in place? You feel me? Like, you come in ready to do something, whether that's getting ready to go to the gym and your headphones die out. So you're just like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Or you come into work and it just seems like something's off. So everything starts to fall apart. And because one little thing isn't off, let me rephrase, because one little thing is not right, it just seems like everything else is going to be off. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but just create. You feel me? I looked over at my vision board and Jesus Christ, man, like I sound like one of them fucking social media gurus. You feel me? Like, I didn't realize how I was sounding, but I ain't gonna lie to you. You feel me? I got a vision board in here and I looked over at it and I had wrote it a while back and it just said, just create. You know what I mean? Don't worry about all the other shit. You know what I mean? Just come in here and get the energy out. Come in here, get the idea out. Come in here and get the message out. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but just create. You feel me? Now, today's episode, it kind of goes in line with last week's episode. You know what I mean? Like how we came in there and we talked about goals, we talked about aspirations, we talked about New Year's resolutions. Now, one of the biggest things that tends to stop us from completing that goal, completing that aspiration, and completing that New Year's resolution, believe it or not, is some of the people that are closest to you. And one thing that I have to check myself. I really got to check myself when I get to talking like this. You feel me? Because the moment that I start talking like this, I notice my mood changes. You feel me? Like, I notice that I start to sound a little bit more aggressive. I sound a little bit more pessimistic. So before I dive into today's topic, I really just want to just be positive for just a moment. You feel me? I don't want to be the negative motivational speaker. You feel me? I don't want to be the negative podcaster. So with that being said, I just really want to just say that if you have people in your life that you call friends, you feel me? Like, if you have people in your life that you call friend, hold them close to you. And when I say that, I really want you to take a step back and look at the people that you call friend. You know what I mean? If you can call them and just vent to them and they can pour into you as you pour into them, that's a friend. You know what I mean? If they encouraging you, that's a friend. If they're there for you in your darkest moments, that's a friend. You know what I mean? Like, if they holding you accountable, that's a friend. And I say that, man, because we live in this era where everyone wants to be so heartless. Everybody wants to be so cold-hearted. Everybody wants to be this, oh, you know, I run solo, man. I don't do well in packs. Shut the fuck up. We're human. We don't deal with packs in general. So I really just want to appreciate the people that, you know, I have in my life and the people that you also have in your life. Like, I really want us to appreciate them. Now, let's really get into today's episode, because today's episode is about people that we call friends that, ain't really our friends, and we really got to watch out for these people. And I bring that up, man, because this was something that was brewing, and this has been brewing on my spirit since December. You know what I mean? Because I always wonder why we are never able to complete a New Year's resolution. And there are so many variables that go into that. There's so many variables that go into that. But one of the biggest things that goes into that is the company that you keep. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people that we call friends, man, like, they have ill intention. And I don't know who needs to hear that, man, but you really got to pay attention to the people that you keep in your circle. Because the people that you keep in your circle, those are the ones that's actually holding you back. You feel me? And they sit comfortably in your fucking circle because they know that you're not going to cut them off. They sit comfortably in your circle because they know that you need them. They sit comfortably, knowing damn well they ain't doing anything for you. So with that being said, as we dive into this episode, man, I just really want to give you 3 types of people you got to stay the fuck away from if you really want to become a better version of yourself. Now, the first person that you got to get out of your circle right now is that hating ass friend. You feel me? And this person doesn't come with some special type of name. He a hater. You feel me? And is usually gift wrapped it in a smile. Now, as I sit back, man, like, there was this one guy that I grew up with. And I ain't gonna say his name, you feel me? I ain't no chatty patty, but every time he said something to me, it was always some slick shit. You know what I mean? It was always in the manner of, I was less than him. He would hype my cousin up all the damn time. You feel me? Like, he would hype my cousin up. But when it came to me, he would always say, something slick, as if like I was just so less than him. And I've always used him as the baseline of what a hating ass friend was. So I'm gonna just go ahead and give you a couple of features, a couple of, what's those things when it's not a feature. I'm gonna give you a couple of key points of what a hating ass friend looks like. First things first, they always got a little joke about you. You know what I mean? And it usually sounds something like this. Damn, that look good on you, I guess, or I guess anybody can do it if you able to do it, or you still doing that little thing. Like it's always like a little joke, but the reality is that they dead ass serious. You feel me? Like, they dead ass serious. That's really how they think about you. But they dress it up in a smile. And when you hear that, I really need you to pay attention to that. I really need you to pay attention to that. And the thing is that more than likely they won't change. But we tend to hear it. We tend to be bothered by it. We tend to know that they're talking about us, but what we do is that we shrug it off. Or my favorite is that you see the red flag, but instead of not going down that road, you go ahead and you change the color of it. Instead of heeding the warning of what the red flag is, you try to change the color of it. You play into what they talking about. You downplay yourself. So I really just want to tell you, because as you start to become a better version of yourself, notice how they jokes start to sound a little bit more personal. You feel me? They gonna start saying shit like, oh, I guess you losing a little weight. Oh, I guess that little business doing something. You know what I mean? I see a couple of people listening to your little podcast. You feel me? Oh man, I guess that little job working out. Damn, you still in school? Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. Because if you don't pay attention to it, I'm telling you right now, they always gonna have some negative shit to say. And this friend was never really for you, because if you have ever had this person in your life, the moment that y'all fall out, right? Like the moment that y'all fall out, all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Like all of a sudden, they ain't never like you. All of a sudden, your business done gotten out there. But the reality is that person has always had ill intentions to you. Now, another friend, and I said 3. Damn it, I said 3, but I'm going to give you a bonus. And I feel like this is 1B of what I had already talked about with a hating ass friend. But be careful with friends that cannot control their emotions. You know what I mean? Like, be careful with friends that cannot control their emotions. And I bring this up because have you ever came across a person that say some wild shit when they get upset? You know what I'm talking about? Like they say some shit that they know they ain't got no business saying, when they get upset and then they blame it on their emotions, I'm going to tell you right now, get these people out of your life. Because these are the type of people that will expose you. You feel me? These type of people will expose you. And the first chance that they get, the moment that they feel hurt by you, and it may not have been intentional, but if they feel hurt by you, I need you to hear me. If they feel hurt, they will do everything in their power to hurt you. They will do everything in their power to diminish your character, and they will do anything to hurt your ego. I need you to understand that. If you confide in this person, you might as well just get ready to swing on them, because they're going to say some shit that they know they ain't got no business saying. So please be careful with these type of people. Next, I need you to hear me on this one, okay? Because we all have this friend. And a lot of us that are listening to this podcast right now, you hold the role in your family as the strong one. You feel me? You probably get the best damn advice in the family. Everybody comes to you. Hell, and if it ain't in your family, it's probably in your friend group. And if it ain't in your friend group, it's probably at work. People come to you because they know that you're going to get shit done. People come to you when they're in a bad mood. People come to you when they need advice. And ain't none of that wrong. Ain't none of that wrong. But some of y'all got that one friend that abuses that. You feel me? Like you got that one friend that abuses that. And that's the friend that's constantly draining you. You ever had one of them friends? You know what I mean? Like you ever had one of them friends that every time they fucking call, they got some shit going on in their life. It's always drama in this friend's life. This friend, first and foremost, is a distraction. I just got to let you know that. Like this friend is a distraction. I don't know who need to hear that. And I say distraction because they constantly calling you with some bullshit and you probably working on some things. You know what I mean? You probably getting ready to go to the gym and here you go getting a call. You probably getting ready to go to work and here you go getting a call. You probably at work and here you go getting a call. You probably chilling with your fucking lover and next thing you know, you get a fucking text or call. You about to sit down and eat dinner and here you go with a text or call from this person who is draining you and now distracting you from the life that you are trying to live. And I got to tell you right now, you got to put arm's distance with this person. Let me rephrase that. You really got to establish some solid boundaries with this person. And I say you have to establish these boundaries for this person because this person without boundaries will take everything from you emotionally. This person will take and drain you on a regular basis. And the reason why is because they don't see anything inside of themselves. They don't feel like they can fix their own problems, so they need help all the time. And yes, once again, friends should be able to help friends. They should. But I need you to hear me out. If I'm constantly trying to help you fix your problems, if I'm constantly trying to help you get your life together, when the fuck do I have time to focus on me? When the fuck do I have time to focus on my own goals? When the fuck do I have time to help myself become a better version if I'm constantly helping you become a better version? This friend got to do the shadow work, and I don't know who need to hear this, but it's 2023. This, I'm hurt, I'm broken, I'm toxic, I have unresolved traumas. This shit, man, like, come on now. With the amount of resources that are out here and you still walking around broken, you feel me? And I know somebody might think, hey, Meech, man, that's kind of ignorant to say. No, it's not. Therapy is cool to go to now. This ain't some fucking taboo shit that was going on in the fucking 90s. You know what I mean? Y'all motherfuckers sit back and y'all will talk about depression and anxiety to get a couple of likes on Instagram and TikTok, but you won't take your ass to fucking therapy. Not this year. No. Take your ass to therapy. I don't know who need to hear that. You feel me? Do the shadow work on your own. I don't know who need to hear that. Heal in private. I don't know who need to hear that. And I bring this up, man, because a lot of times, and I don't mean to go on a rabbit hole down this episode, but I bring this up because a lot of times, man, like we see these red flags with these people, the one that drains us and the one that hates on us, but we so afraid to be alone that we okay with keeping these people in our lives. Like we okay with being used as long as we included. And I'll say that again. A lot of us are okay with being used as long as we include it. And I need you to have some willingness in your body. You feel me? And it's two types of willingness that you can have. You either can be willing or you could be unwilling. Okay, you could be willing to get these people out of your life and make a change for the better, or you could be unwilling to continue to keep living this life the way that it's going right now. And I promise you, man, when you accept those things in your life, you are able to remove these people a lot easier. Lastly, as we come to a close to this episode, the friend that, and to be honest with you, you probably won't even need to cut this person off. I'm going to just keep it honest with you. You really don't need to cut this person off, man. Like, you just need to continue to keep doing what you're doing right now in your life, making a change for the better. And I guarantee you, this person is going to cut themselves out of your life. And that's the not growing friend. You feel me? And exactly how he sounds or she sounds is exactly the reason why they're going to end up being removed out of your life, because they're not growing. You feel me? See, the thing is that when we make a change for ourselves, like, there's the big three. You got your environment, you got your habits, and you got your friends. You change your environment, then you're going to change friends, and you definitely going to end up changing your habits. You change your habits, eventually you're going to change your friends, and you definitely got to change your environment. So with that being said, like, a lot of us have this friend in our life that is okay with where they are at right now. And that's okay. I'm going to just keep it a buck with you. That is okay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to treat us like it's social media where we bully each other into fucking being an entrepreneur, where we bully each other into becoming a better version of ourselves, where we bully each other into stepping out of our comfort zone. Nah, I ain't going to do that. To be honest with you, for some people, this is perfect for them. You know what I mean? To have this lifestyle that they currently have is perfect for them. So they don't see no reason to change. Now, what I want you to understand is that as you start to change, right? As you start to become a better version of yourself, this friend will slowly start to become very irrelevant in your life. Whew, man, that was a struggle to get that word out. God damn. This person will slowly become irrelevant in your life. When you start to change your lifestyle, you're not going to really have time for this person. You know what I mean? You're going to start hanging around other people that are in the lifestyle that you're trying to go into. You feel me? When you're going to be so focused on your goals that you really ain't got time to, talk about the good old days. And once again, man, like, please understand, like, ain't nothing wrong with what they're doing. But the thing is that a lot of us will, how do I say this, sabotage our own progress so we don't lose this person. See, the thing about change is, and this is what I want y'all to understand is that change, you feel me? Change is natural. Change is natural. We all gonna go through some type of change in our lives. And when we say change for the better, man, like, I really want you to understand and look at some of these people like apps on your phone. And I think a lot of y'all have heard me say this before. And when I say apps on your phone, man, like, a lot of us got some apps on our phone that we downloaded 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And it just carried over to whatever phone we got. But to be honest with you, we don't even use these apps, but we keep it around. See, the thing that, I want you to understand is that those apps, they do hold up space. They do hold up space. And you can't download anything new because you constantly got to, delete something. That's how your life is. You can't bring anybody new into your life because your life is filled with people who no longer serve their purpose, who are just sitting there, who are just hogging up space. So as you remove people, you feel me? Understand that new people are going to come into your life that are going to make your life better. So that is the main reason why you got to start removing some of these people or avoiding these type of people in 2023. To be honest with you, as you're trying to make a better change for yourself. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind. I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Now, do me a favor. If you're on Apple or Spotify, don't forget to leave a 5-star review for this podcast. And lastly, hit that